Hi, this is Bangladesh Poker. My name is Sham Simran. Welcome to my channel. Today I played cash game online. So I would like to show a couple of the hands, and I'm on the replay of those hands. So I'm gonna just go forward from my initial buy-in, and then I rebuy, and then how I ended. So um, it's an interesting way to play cash game, I think, and my initial journey in poker started with cash game, and then I focused on tournament, and I'm coming back to kind of mixed format when I like cash game, but also you'll see in the cash game my mindset still in the tournament. So I always believe that if you're a hybrid poker player, that means that you have understanding of the cash game of the values, EVs and such, and from the endurance mindset from the tournament, then both format kind of help each other. When you're playing the tournament, if you understand and have the aggressive tendency coming from the cash game, then you can add certain attributes to that in that tournament. Vice versa, when you play cash game, if you have the mindset of the endurance and understand that you're still playing that specific big blind and you're trying to basically survive, and trying not to play bad. Recently, I learned this, and I think it's very well put. If you go for the win, then you are kind of creating some opening where your opponent can exploit. Versus if you play like you cannot lose, then your opponent does not have any exploit against you and you are more balanced. To me, I always went for the win. And recently, after this understanding, I think it's a very profound understanding that if you do not lose, or your game style, gameplay, or your lineup play does not have any opening, eventually that's going to make you win. But you should not go for the win. And this is so um, true in other aspect of any other sports as well. Like I'm a bowler, I'm a cricketer. So when I bowl, if I'm going for the wicket, meaning I'm trying to win, then I'm actually bowling erratic. But when I am actually disciplined and trying to bowl every ball, then opportunity create itself, because eventually what I'm doing every ball is trying to put my best self forward, and eventually that best self is going to produce the best result. Enough rambling, so I'd like to go back to the tournament, cash game, and I'll explain my thought process and such. I started with 30 big blind. This is probably the third hand, um, and I would like to play from the beginning. So I started with 30 big blind, and this is probably the second hand of the cash game. We are playing four-handed, and then cut off open three big blind, button call three big blind. I'm thinking my hand range against especially four players, it's really the on the top. I'm thinking about raising. I'm also thinking about folding my, and I'm also thinking about calling. I think this is an unique situation where all three options are actually could be justified, or make some you can make some reasons behind it. So I decided to call because I just sat down. I do not have enough information. I would like to see things from small blind position, or like out of position. um, and then this flop I basically missed. um, he bets, and after the button call, I really cannot continue on this kind of board. I could have raised here, showing that I have king queen, but most likely king queen I would three bet in this position as well, so I cannot really represent much. So I decided to fold. Let's see what happened this hand. This hand, oh, this is a very interesting hand. Okay, again we are playing five-handed. I think one person joined, and then these two players, 7 and 8, they are battling, right? And I'm in position with them. This is also important. The position also important as well, because their ranges are kind of wide. So it's kind of good for me because I'm in position versus two aggressive players. I don't want to be out of position of like aggressive players. So this is a great position. So I call, and then big blind fold as well. Flop comes beautiful. I have an ace, and I also have a good draw. So when he bets 2/3, and 8 calls, when 8 calls, I'm definitely not putting him. I'm actually putting him on. He could have a flush draw, but definitely not two pair or above. So I'm ahead. But against like seven, I do not know. His range could have ace king, definitely ace 10, king 10, and such. So I do not think raise here would make a difference, especially because I do not have enough information of sit number 7. So I just called. Now, when he checks with such a draw heavy board and 8 check as well, I'm thinking ace, king, and above cannot check in this kind of board. And just because he betted on the flop doesn't mean he actually is nutted. Especially 3 player in multi ways, people kind of play face up because they don't want to give equity of like all these players. So when 8 also checks, I'm thinking I'm ahead. The only hand I'm behind is ace queen, and the way they played, I think ace queen would bet here as well. And ace 10 or 2 pair and above, definitely betting on this kind of board. So and I went all in, 7 fold. Now 8 calls with, it's a very interesting hand. He calls with a6, river comes to 6. So I lost this hand, but I think I played right. It's an unfortunate river, but it's that. So that's my first bind, and then I bought in again, and everybody. I'm kind of like the shortest stack at the table, and I don't mind because I'm still trying to play the cash game with the tournament mindset. So I'm trying to grind back. Um, this is, I'm not involved in this hand. So I waited for the big blind to be dealt. 7-9. I fold. I didn't want to play against special cash game 7-9 versus the opponent. The next interesting hand, let's see what happened here. No, this is 7-9. Okay. Again, this opponent is opening. Now this time, this opponent is opening 2 big blind from mid position, and with king queen, I'm thinking I can flat, but flat seems like it's not the ideal play. And the way he took his time, I didn't think he was strong enough to actually call 3-bet. So I 3-bet here, and he folds. Now, this time I think I'm kind of in the zone. Now he bet 2.5x. Next one he bet 2, and then he's limping. So look at his tendency. He wants to play every hand, but he is kind of changing his betting size progressively, and he's lowering his raising size progressively as well. So, and this time I'm thinking I can actually play 2-5 in position. It's perfect. I can do that, but not limping, because I don't want a big blind to come in. I don't want to give incentive for the big blind. Let's the battle begins in between him and me, and I'm in position. Let's do this that way. So I raised 2x just to deny equity from the 2, which actually happened perfectly, and 4 as well. Now 4 raises. Now this time I'm thinking 4 is raises because 4 is like kind of frustrated with me that I'm actually winning, and I'm kind of like playing possum with him. He's thinking I'm messing with him, which I was, but I thought like this hand also plays well in position as well. So let's. I didn't put like four on a strong hand, so that's why I wanted decided to play 2-5 in position, and I figured that I could actually bluff him out eventually, like if the range does not cover or like something happens. I'm not to be noted. Four. I'm not thinking he's very strong here. So flop comes, he checks, and I'm thinking. This card, if I bet and if he shoves or like raises, then I would be kind of stranded and I have to fold. Rather, I'm in position. Let's play based on the equity and let's see whether we can uh, get a card that is on my range. Now turn is a beautiful ace and ace of spade. Now I have straight draw, flush draw, and I can also represent a lot of ace. A lot of ace would do that, will raise mean in position and also call a raise, call a 3-bet in position as well. So my range, the way I played, I think had lots of aces. So I can represent ace here and also my equity increase. So based on the equity here, I'm actually betting. I'm betting like quite significant. I'm betting like half pot here because the pot is big. I mean, not pot is big. I think pot is draw heavy here at this point. I cannot really bet small or medium size. That doesn't like get any information. So he called, and river I missed. Even though I missed, I still have a lot of ace X that actually is this board. So when he checked, and I went all in. I think this is perfect. I mean, a lot of the times I actually slow down at the river thinking he would not fold for this bet size. But look at my bet size. My bet size is 2/3. 2/3, it could be lots of values here as well. So I can, so it's a mixed play and it's a perfect. So I was kind of happy that instead of checking in position, I went all in and he folded. So that was perfect execution, I think, on that part. Um, let's see. This hand 8-4 I folded. 9-8. Actually 9-8. This is also a very interesting hand. Um, so look who's in the big blind, and against him I'm betting two big blind, and I want to be consistent with my based on the effective big blind structure. So based on my once my big blind increases, then I am also going to increase my raise size as well because my effective big blind is increasing. So I want to put based on, because it's still within 40 big blind range, so my opening is kind of 2x here. um, he re-raises me 3.5x in position, and I'm thinking I took a little time here, and I thought like, okay, this hand plays really well, and I could also based on the board and such, I could also do something. So this board, his range does not have many jacks. I didn't think like he had too many jacks, but I had lots of jacks, which is opening and calling behind. So I check here. He bets half pot here, and I'm thinking this hand I can flat call, but 40 big blind effective stacks. It's kind of like I'm in a lot of trouble if the turn does not really. And I don't want to play hits. I mean, kind of like check calling here shows that either I have a jack or I have a draw. But raise here, um, it would be difficult for him to continue if he doesn't have a jack or better. So I decided to check raise here, and check raise. My size was good enough, and I think if you would have called, then I could have also played till turn or till river, and which I wouldn't mind at this point. So I raised min and he folded. And raising min, like 2.5x out of position, raising min, this style are also adopted from tournament. Tournament, if you bet, c bet, and somebody re-raises, if you don't have anything, you don't really continue much. Like so, um, and you can raise very minimum and you can execute the same ways, and like most of the time people would fold. So I think that came from a tournament, and execution was good. I liked the way I played. I thought about it, like what it I want to do, uh, like the next trick and such. So that's a good execution as well, I think. So now I have 53.9 big blind effective, and still I'm the second shortest stack, actually third shortest stack at the table. But I will play according to my big blind and try to raise, choose the raise size. 10 deuce I'll fold. King Jack. This is also an interesting hand. King Jack I played, and I opened. Now I have three customers. Flop comes. I definitely have lots of ace king here. Oh, I want to talk about the bet size here. I'm raising 2.2x. You saw me raise 2x before, and now I'm raising 2.2x because I the effective big blind is more. It's 40 big blind plus close to 60 big blind. So I'm raising my uh, big blind based on that. I'm also looking at whom I'm betting against. I'm betting against 7, who's in the big blind. So he has 99 big blind. I have 53 big blind effective. So I'm raising 2.2x. Flop is great. I can c-bet here. I can represent a lot of hands here. I c-bet when the way 3 called. I'm not putting him much on his stronger hands. And turn was interesting because now I want to see what he called on the flop with. So I checked, and he bets 4.8. Look at the main part here. Main part is 14.4, and he's only betting 4.8. Now I'm thinking if he has, let's say, king, queen, king, jacks. I have king, jack, so it's unlikely he has king, jack, or anything better than king or better, then he would bet this size would be much larger. That's why I checked here, because I want to get the information from him. What is the strength of his hand? His strength of his hand when the queen came, it's a draw heavy board. Betting 1/3 shows weakness. I thought I perceived it as weakness. So I raised again, check raised, and he folded. So now I have 66 big blind. Now this time it's also very interesting. Now I have 60 big blind plus. I'm raising now 2.4, not 2.2. I'm raising 2.4. Now I'm increasing my big blind based on the my effective big blind size. I think this is important to understand. Um, and I wanna try to keep my big blind raise in between 2 to 4, maybe sometimes 5, based on the how loose or how tight the table is. But I want to be consistent. I want to do in between 2 and 4 if it is less than 200 big blinds up to, I think, anyway, this 2.4 big blind raise, um, and 8 calls. Now flop comes 5-6-5. I I thought about it. I saw one of the IV hand when he was playing against, I think, one of the Ivy League player, and he's Saxon or like one of the guy, and he had those kind of hands. He had kings, and flop came 10-10-9. And what he did was he checked in position with kings. I thought about it. This is also, he could have lots of fives on his range, the way he called. So um, if he does, then I don't want to lose a lot of chips here. So I'd rather like check or try to, and also like I want to give him the opportunity to like bluff as well. So I check in position, turn comes 4, and now he checks as well. Now I'm thinking, now I have to like bet a little bit, like see where I'm at. So I bet 3, and he instantly raised me. When he raised, I'm thinking the way he raised, of course. I'm thinking it doesn't look like a five. He doesn't really believe that I have anything. He's those kind of players is thinking I don't have anything. So this is kind of he can show this is his range. So he's just raised here. Um, and I was thinking he could have like one pair with some kind of draw here. Um, So when he raised, instead of re-raising, which I thought about it as well, but re-raising is kind of exposed my hand. What I'm re-raising here with, I don't have much many five, so I can really re-raise here. I called. The river comes to 10, and he checks. This is perfect. I'm thinking, okay, he's thinking I don't have much, and when the river comes, he's checking. He wants to keep the pot to one pair, and if he does have one pair, I mean, ideally, I mean, eventually two pairs because pocket fives is there as well. So if I bet something big, he's still gonna call. So I bet like I think close to the pot. Yeah, 2/3 plus like pot here, and he calls, and queens win. So this is it. I think I didn't play after this. I was kind of very interested. This was an experiment for me. I wanted to play. I wanted to get back to cash game, and I wanted to do online cash game as well. I wanted to see how the field was. Today, after a long period of time, I came back to online cash game, and even after the first buy-in, the way I lost, I was thinking I was playing good, and I wanted to walk away from this table winning. But by preserving the thought, uh, like do not your gameplay should be like you play in a way that you cannot lose. So I mean, poker has lots of variables and such, but I think this was a very interesting session. I want to share this session with everybody. Whoever is watching, thank you for watching, and let me know like if you have a different way of thinking, different way of like playing, or anything that you want to comment on. Much appreciated. Thank you again. This is Sham Simran playing as Bangladesh Poker. See you again. Bye.